You do the intro or me?
You right?
Okay. Well, welcome to, I think this is the quarterfinals of the Fragbite THOR Open. Qualifier number 2 is presented to you by Cdon. And with me is Illuminous from DotaCommentaries.com. Big shout outs to him for coming on. And we have a match between Skanes Elit versus MYM, the new MYM. So this should be a really exciting matchup.
Yeah, Meet Your Maker, prestigious name back in the days of Melkmania and Pusher and all those old guys. But now it's a new era of MYM, and let's see what they could be mustering up for us today. It is Calculus, Link, Rise, Delino, and Atsi. Is that how you pronounce it? Atsi.
I think so. I can actually hear you on both the Dota 2 TV and this, so I have an
Well,
echo.
I will mute the Dota 2 TV. I mean, mute the... No, you should mute a co-caster
Oh, okay.
on your audio settings, and you wouldn't need to hear me.
Ah, I see.
All right, here we go. Venomancer is, and Leshrac going to be the first and second pick for Skanes Elit. They had a great game last time when these two heroes were picked, but they did not have to deal against a Darkseer. Darkseer lanes great, team fights great, and ganks very well as well. So I love the Darkseer opening pick. I think out of the 4 games I've casted so far, Darkseer was either the first or second pick. Feels very much so like Windrunner was when she was introduced. She's always first pick, not good enough to be banned though, at least not according to these teams.
Yeah, meanwhile, you can see the bans of MYM pretty much, not only are they solid bans, but they're also very respectful bans. Mini's Wisp has just been a nightmare to deal with for the European scene. Meanwhile, Waga's Templar Assassin is legendary, at least by him.
Everybody's Templar Assassin is legendary these days. So Templar Assassin is just getting banned because she's apparently an OP hero. We're back to the MYM side. What strat will be running today? We saw some TIE Hunter Darkseer combos today. We saw TIE Hunter Darkseer and Enigma combo today. Or we could go for the Void that we saw last game. Or something completely different. Skanes Elit, again, early game aggression, like to apply pressure all over the place. Ganks, roams, tower destruction. And when you have Leshrac and Venomancer started up, you have a lot of options in terms of laning and strategies as well.
Yeah, right now it's really too early to tell at this point. I mean, Darkseer, you most likely want to pick up somebody who synergizes well with the vacuum, but these picks leave a lot open to the imagination. You can really pick into a lot of different things. Some of the more solid heroes you could pick up, if you want to get a solid mid lane, you could pick up a Batrider, although TA is banned, so the hard counter is out of the way, so not as much necessity to go for that, but they pick up Invoker and Enigma, so a lot of synergy with the vacuum. Of course, Surge helps a lot with the Invoker and Enigma to get in and out of fights, position themselves well, and vacuum into Black Hole. I mean, enough said.
Yeah, enough said. Indeed, TIE Hunter is going to be the pickup here. I think Invoker is going to work fine against the TIE Hunter, especially against Venomancer as well. If he's going for the Quaswex build, Tornado is going to drain both these supports' mana. So look towards Leshrac, perhaps one of these supports switching towards the Arcane's Boot build instead of whatever build that he is more comfortable with. Naga Siren is going to be the ban here. They're banned, and I think both teams will be looking for a little bit more carry bans. Especially carries that will set up other spells like Naga's ultimate, maybe like Void's ultimate, although I think Skanes could get away without picking Void. Void is not one of those heroes that is metagame changing in a sense, but he is one of those heroes that once he's picked, he does a lot for his team.
Yeah, it's not like it's really... Neither team has too much aggression. Of course, Skona picks up Void. It wouldn't really... It would give him a lot of room to farm up, but I mean the lineup of Darkseer, Invoker, Enigma, they're going to be playing to the mid to late game anyway at this point. Unless they go for some really out of the woodwork early aggressive picks. So Void would synergize pretty well with Darkseer, Enigma, but it'd be tricky to lane him. So there's a problem right there. But yeah, Void has just been seeing a lot, at least a couple more looks than we saw past time, because he's just so powerful with that Chronosphere, and the fact that Rubik can't steal it anymore. Well, Rubik's not a factor in this game. But if Rubik does steal it, Void won't get frozen by it. That is a huge factor by itself.
Yep. Of course, a hero that we haven't been seeing too much is the Batrider, and I think he can have a room in this game if any team wants to pick him. Syllabear or Lone Druid is going to be the man, as well as Chaos Knight. I think Batrider is a decent choice to lane against Invoker, and there's a Juggernaut ban. A Skanes Elit be picking Jugs.
I think I'm not too sure, but I guess they're fearing the early game push power of the Edict Plague Ward and the fact that Tyre can run in and cast Ravage, especially with Healing Ward. That is a devastating combination, but I have not been following Skanes Elit to know for sure if they've been favoring Juggernaut. I think if they play Juggernaut, they like to use it with the Wisp more often than not, so I'm not too sure.
Yep. Well, regardless, Juggernaut is not going to be back in this game. Skanes Elit, last time they were banning a lot of things like Lich, they were banning like Kato, but now they're going to ban a Twin Hit Dragon. I think they're going to yield the AoE team fight towards MYM. When you have Darkseer and Enigma, it's really hard to win a team fight, TIE Hunter or not. So Skanes Elit, I think they're going to be looking for a little bit more tower destruction, a little bit more roaming and counter ganking, as every single hero here so far is great at all of those aspects.
Yeah, right now, what MYM Razor has to be careful is that their lineup might be too mid-game oriented, so if Skona manages to pick up a really strong early game, then they can just go on a rampage, tear through the other team, and a Jakiro ban just makes so much sense in the world. I mean, Ice Path is now so good, and the fact that Liquid Fire provides a strong early game presence, Dual Breath a very strong nuke, and it's hard to kill Jakiro. So Jakiro just makes so much sense, at least as a ban. And right now, not too much reserve time left for MYM, so they're thinking long and hard. Will they pick up their hard carry? They probably need to pick up a support. But I guess they might save that for the last pick. They're probably going to pick up support here and then just pick up the last carry and hopefully throw a wrench into Skanes Elite's plan, and they do pick up the Crystal Maiden.
Sounds good. Yeah, Crystal Maiden is a great AoE hero. I think they're leaving open for a bot lane, defensive lane, melee carry of some sort. Anti-Mage been seeing a lot of play. They have some very, very predictable, but yet very, very solid laning. Darkseer on the long lane, of course, Enigma, Jungle, Invoker, mid, Crystal Maiden, and whatever that carry on the bottom lane. Of course, Skanes Elit have so much versatility. Every single hero you see so far can be placed as tri-lane support, can be played as dual lane support, can be played as, solo mid. We've seen all of these. So in a sense, Skanes Elit is keeping it very, very secretive, but most likely we're going to see Latrak mid, Venomancer, and Tyander on support roles.
Yeah, it's interesting because Waga's not in the game, so maybe they are trying to figure out who Bon Zajaj will play for their lineup. So that might be why they're waiting so long. That might be why they're going so versatile. But we see a Ricky pick, so the Silence Diffusal Blade will be really useful against Surge as well. So if they can get Ricky enough farm early on, he will just be a nightmare to deal with in the mid game. But they will have to win in the mid game when Smokescreen is at his peak. Otherwise, they will be in a lot of trouble versus Enigma and Darkseer.
Very surprisingly that they're picking up Ricky right now. Generally, when you are picking up Ricky, you want to have the last pick to have the Ricky to counter everything else, and you don't want them to pick up like a Gondar or a Slaughter or anything like that. Exactly. So perhaps that's part of the plan, though, for Skanes Elit. Maybe they do want them to pick up something like counter, and the bigger surprise is going to be in this last pick. It would be surprising if that was not the bigger surprise, because there's no reason to pick Ricky so early.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, if they picked up an Anti-Mage, Ricky, pretty good against Anti-Mage, pretty good against Morphling as well. So the fact that they picked up before MYM even picked up their carry is a little bit surprising. But, like you said, Skona could pick up another out of the ballpark hero, Keeper of the Light, for some early game pushing. So pushing is going to be the name of the game. And right now, really not too much AoE anti-push going for them. I mean, once Invoker spells are on cooldown and Crystal Maidens are, they don't really have too much to stop the push.
Yeah, I'm really, really afraid of for Skana right now, because if Link gets huge on that Slaughter, it's gonna be a big issue. There's not enough reliable way to lock down. There's a Ravage, and maybe if Technoboy lands a Splitter, but there's very, very low way to shut down Link. If Link gets a Strength Treads, Vanguard, and perhaps, God forbid, an early BKB, I fear for Skanes Elit. Kyoshin have to get big early and set up ganks all over the place, pick on Atsi a couple of times, pick on Nino a couple of times, and use that Purge Blade, perhaps even get a Darkseer Kyo too, or work towards a quick Manta Style to debuff that Slaughter amp. But I love the laning for Meet Your Maker a little bit more. Let's see what Skanes Elit could bring to us on the table.
Yeah, looks like right now they're thinking, or MYM is thinking about who will play the last hero as we're going to get into the game. So we'll just introduce the players and teams. So Skona has picked up a stand in place of Waga, so Bonzajaj is going to be playing that Keeper of the Light Techno Boy, playing his Leshrac once again. He played a really strong Leshrac in the last game, probably the best player in that game. Koshinoko is playing the Ricky, Mini is playing the Tidehunter, and meanwhile, the Caller is playing Venomancer once again.
Yeah, both teams exchanging pleasantries. Pleasantries, the understatement. Seems like there is quite a bit of love in between these two teams. Link is going to be handling the Slaughter Atsi on the Crystal Maiden. Back in the mid lane is going to be, of course, Calculus playing that Invoker on the top. And it's going to be Nino denying that creep before going to jungle. A lot of clarities on him. And, of course, Darkseer will be going into the jungle, scouting things out. But that is Rise on the long lane. Rise known to be playing support. Seems like it's going to be long lane in this particular game.
Yeah, one thing about Dota players is that they can play pretty much any role because they're good at this game. So Slaughter, he might be caught in a little bit of a trap right now. Mini's going to go in for the Gush. Venom Scale being used as well. Slaughter, he hasn't skilled any points and he's going to skill Crush now. Can he escape? No. THOR picks up the last hit. And now Slaughter, he's not going to be too happy. They're going to get a lot of gold, not too much experience. So, I mean, it could be worse, but of course giving up that gold so early on is not going to be too good for the opposing team on the tri-lane, but at least they didn't get too much experience.
Yeah, kind of a special treatment of this Observer Ward. We don't see that ward too often, but it worked out perfectly. Another Observer Ward playing place in a very, very slimmer position. They're not going to get ganked at all. Meanwhile, though, Darkseer, look at this. Some next level creep skipping because he's very, very far away. And Technoboy, he finds himself a DD as well as the Diabolic Edict. Let's see if he's going to be good enough because I'm sure Rise is going to, well, if he sees the Edict, then he's not going to be juking at all. He's level 2, so he will have Surge, and there you go. He's going to be fine. Leshrack's kind of on an island, and we're going to see a solo mid Ricky.
And this is what we were talking about in our metagame patch. Tri-lane versus Tri-lane is now going to be back in style because of the gold buff, and without help of the Enigma, the bomb tri-lane of Link and Atsi is going to get shut down. So Skanes Elit once again putting their tri-lane up against the tri-lane, and this could be a real difficult time for MYM considering that they're relying so heavily on their Slaughter.
Here we go. There's a Gush. There is a Gale. There is the Pew Pew lasers coming in from the Keeper of the Light. That's just, again, exchanging pleasantries under Tower 1. The tower is being tanked by a couple of creeps. They could easily make it go. Slaughter, despite being a strength hero, can be nuked down quite easily when you have enough firepower to do so. And if Atsi's ever out of position, he'd be dead. But meanwhile, though, Darkseer is actually putting a number on this tower. As you can see, the Techno Boy is actually using pulls with the other creeps, but he's missing a couple EXP. He's barely hitting level 2 right now. In fact, the neutral creeps gets last hit. The level disparity on the top lane is absolutely insane right now.
Yeah, I mean, Leshrack 1-0, meanwhile Darkseer 12-0, so, oh man, really, really smart play by Rise on that top lane. Of course, he's constantly flirting with danger, having low HP, but so is Leshrack. Leshrack not too tanky. Darkseer still has ridiculous armor, so he can tank up as much as possible. And meanwhile, this bottom lane started as 1 CS, so right now, it's pretty even, but I think the fact that Slaughter's not getting too much early farm speaks more, because 3 heroes on the other side getting more experience than Slaughter CM.
Yeah, well, I mean, Enigma's winning the jungle in his own right, so I mean, I guess that evens it out a little bit, but Leshrack is not going to have that powerful start that he enjoyed last game. You got to keep in mind that Ricky versus a Invoker mid lane is not going to exactly be in the favor of Ricky Maru either.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's keeping up. He's 8-1 versus 7-2, so he's doing just fine. Quasflex Invoker with that base damage nerf is actually not nearly as threatening.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of regen comparison, they're actually Ricky still have more regen than Calculus. So Calculus got to step it up in terms of harass. He's actually not winning the lane as hard as he should be. Of course, on the bot lane, you can see Mini playing very, very aggressive. Already have the boots of speed pick up. Link looking to get level 3, but look at how poor these guys are. Sprint and 2 stuns is what they could go for. They can't really, well, I mean, in theory, yes, Atsi could be going for pulls, but do you really want to pull against this lineup? Because, again, anytime that the Dire Creeps is tanking the creep wave, it's a free go for Mini Gush. The Gale and, of course, the Illuminate come in to get easy kills.
Nice curry usage, constantly sending Rise more and more consumables. He had to back off from the top lane a bit, so that creep wave might actually get near the tower, which is actually below half HP, almost below half HP at this point, but Rise is just going to go back, cut off some more creep waves. With those regen up, picks up an earlier hit, just going to go for Mechanism. So Rise just having grand old time on that top lane. 9-0 on Leshrack, meanwhile 24 on that Darkseer. He is being completely unhindered, and if he wants to go for Ricky to provide a little bit of pressure, which it looks like he might be thinking about doing, he might get the kill as Darkseer maneuvering himself very close. Invoker going to take a Blink Strike, so that escape mechanism is just gone right now. So Ricky's just going to take so much damage and he's going to die so easily. Rise just playing super well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the nicely gank here from Darkseid, nicely timing gank, very important, especially when the Blink Strike is down. Cold Snap plus Iron Shell is absolutely no joke, and that was an easy, easy kill being traded off. And the bot lane, they're still surviving. Link's hitting level 3, Mini not even 3 yet, so this tri lane, they gotta get more kills to make this lane worth it. And so far, that's not happening. You can see that again, Rise, again, just creep cutting like a boss. And you can only do this because there's offensive tri lane on the bot lane.
Well, I mean, even though Slaughter is level 4, he's not getting any farm, and Slaughter does need a decent amount of farm, otherwise he'll run in, and then he'll just die because of that 15 increases of damage because of Sprint. So Slaughter does need a decent amount of items, and the fact that he's not getting any, I think is a significant victory for Skana, at least at this point.
Yeah, Venomancer picks up Boots of Speed. That is a great addition considering that he's going to be doing a lot of chasing. Another Gush. Oh, the Crush just missed. The Gale will hit and the big blast comes in. They will not tower dive that, but again, more disruption, more damage against Link. Link
Oh,
will
mid
have
lane,
to
mid
pop
lane,
this
mid
up.
lane. Looks like a Koshinoko is going to take a tornado. Rise came in for the gank once again. So, meanwhile, Leshrac is doing damage on the top lane to that tower, just saying, screw your tower, I'm going to protect mine. But Darkseid just ganking. This is really, really odd play from a Darkseid to just go gank so early and cut off the creep wave at such a strong point. But again, Rise playing really, really smart.
Yeah, I mean, Rise right now is being the off-lane ganker from the suicide lane, but he's creep cutting. And here we go, he's going to go right in against Kyoshin. Again, Cold Snap is going to do so much, but nope, he's going to get cut off by the collar. But with Surge, he's going to be fine. He needs a little bit of mana, though. Starting to run low because he doesn't have really good mana regeneration items. Invoker, of course, with those two ganks is going to be very, very happy. Face Boot already done, buys himself another Clarity. Back in the bot lane, more harass against Link. They're just not getting these kills on Skana.
Yeah, but like I said, Slaughter doesn't
Here
need
we
a decent
go on
amount
the
of
bot
items.
lane. They want to go for perhaps Banja Jaja's a little easier. Mini runs in right now. Mini drops out of an Anger Slash. Huge Illuminate against Link. Any defensive TP, no defensive TP. There's going to be Crush, and I think Banja Jaja is going to be going down as well. But look how low Link is. Calculus is running in right now. No support is falling up. Tylander survived for a lot longer than I imagined he would, and because of that, Banja Jaja will be surviving as well.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ricky is level 6 at the very least, so they're going to have to pick up detection. But still, he's pretty easy to kill. Meanwhile, Leshrac on their hand managed to pick up a tower, and they're really going to have to rely on this Leshrac a bit more, as he's picked up an early phase. It's going to go for mass move speed once again by Technoboy. Meanwhile, Rise has a soaring, so he's going to be able to push down this tower slowly but surely through passive harassment, and the courier's just going to high-five each other as they run away. Oh, is he going to fall around? This courier has observer wards on its head, so Ricky's going to maneuver himself into position, but seems like Rise knows what's up.
Yeah, the courier being flown around. I'm not sure if it's using to scouting, not just going to be delivering items. Look at the creep cutting on the mid lane now here. Man, Rise is just being such a grief. But here we go. Perhaps a little bit of invisible body blocking surge, and there is none. So there's going to be it. Technoboy not going to get that stun up. Perhaps here comes the caller trying to set up a gale. No, Rise just jukes everybody.
Still, I do want to point out, Slaughter 4 CS. He does need items. He's picked up Magic Stick at the very least because of that kill. So that is something going for him. But here comes the Trillion. Will they get anything going? Link takes a gush right to the face, but no follow-up damage as, meanwhile, Enigma, what does he have? He has Soaring Boots on the stash. So he has a decent amount of items going for him. And looks like just constantly pushing Link back. So where is the damage going to come from? If it does not come from Link in the mid-game, that's what my concern is.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to come from Calculus as well as from a certain extent Rise. They do quite a bit of damage with their spells, especially when Rise is getting so much EXP. The early mech's going to give them a lot more teamfight potential as well. And again, Technoboy, he's not having the best start. He's still going for phase boots, and I don't think this is the best choice, considering that EMP Tornado will drain a lot of his teammates' mana. He needs to support his team with that Arcane Boots, but perhaps there's going to be massive Arcane Boots. There's one on Tide. And there's also Keeper, so maybe not. Maybe I retract that statement. It's going to be fine since there's Chakra Magic to help out. But for now, Kyoshin is looking for a rune. It's not going to be there. What should this Ricky be doing? Should he be ganking bot? Should he be just farming? I feel like there's no opening anywhere for him.
I think he's fine for now to farm because Slaughter is not getting any farm whatsoever. But I think eventually, once he picks up his defusal, he will have to get a gank and he will have to end the game. Otherwise, he will be faced with that Invoker problem. Looks like they're just going to clear out the Eidolons. But yeah, I think Ricky's doing pretty much what he needs to do. He needs to get tank. Otherwise, he'll just be fodder in these small-scale engagements just because of the massive amount of damage. And considering Link, he's about to hit level 6, so amplified damage will be a factor very, very soon.
Well, it looks like there's going to be another gank attempt coming in against the Ricky. Ricky thinks he's safe. There's no detection. There is a detection. There we go. Cold Snap, Ion Shell. Oh, he doesn't have the blink strike. He is blinking away, but there's a vacuum. There's a tornado. There's more than enough. Ricky goes down once again. It's a Darkseer ganking from the suicide lane. My mind has been blown. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, this is completely unexpected, as usually Darkseid just sits around, gets items, and then just becomes a nuisance in teamfights. But when your mid lane is a Ricky who's a melee hero who has to constantly be up close and personal, you can just sort of come in, gank him, he's squishy, get detection, and pretty easy kills. And now there's going to be an attempt to go on the bottom lane. Luckily for the Dire, there is a ward spying the movement, but hey, this is going to leave Sar open to get some farm, going to pressure them back. Meanwhile, Leshrac, what is he doing? He has 41 CS, picks up a bracer, gonna go for drums again. Only 41 CS, meanwhile Tyrant 46. So right now it looks like the Dire are out farming, but they are behind in terms of kills. And looking at the experience, they are way behind in terms of experience.
Yeah, they definitely are, especially since there's such a big kill difference. It looks like we do have the Nino walking in, trying to threaten a Malefice. Keep in mind that the Leshrac also got a tower kill to his name, so he's got a little bit more go for himself and his team. But yeah, the EXP is kind of the big difference maker here. As Ricky not having exactly the best farm, just had the stress finish, and of course he can pick up that Robe of Magi for now, but very, very far away from that Diffuser Blade, and he needs it. Here we go, the Darkseer looking for the rune is going to be body blocking with illusions. Darkseer, but he's now going nowhere going near home. He's going all the way between that tier 2, tier 3 tower.
Yeah, just checking out the levels really fast, you can see Dire pretty behind in terms of levels because of that experience graph which we pulled up earlier. But Invoker's getting pretty much free farm. Meanwhile, Ricky versus Darkseer in the jungle. Looks like Darkseer taking a bunch of damage. Smokescreen being popped, but Iron Child is just like, lol, what are you doing? As here comes Technoboy. They are going to be able to pick off Rise. One more hit. He tried to deny himself, but Technoboy ends a killing spree. Will they make anything happen from that? The fact that they shut down Rise for a little bit is a good start for itself, but Ricky's going to have to go back to base. So losing a bit of time, but shutting down Rise for now, it's a good start.
Yeah, also, Mini on the bot lane is level 6 right now. That means they will have access to Ravage, and the Siege unit unfortunately goes down, so that's going to slow down the push a little bit. The wards are still being stacked up, though, and here we go. Anybody that tries to defend this will be absolutely dead, and MYM knows it as well. They will just back off, gives up a free tower, and that means Mini will have that Ravage ready for a tier 1 tower push on the mid lane and perhaps go down a little bit more. I think with this, they should just go for a dominating team fight, because they have the teamfight advantage right now without Darkseer being too oppressive without his wall. I mean, he has level 2 vacuum and there's Black Hole up, so you know, worst comes to worst, there is still a vacuum Black Hole combo on the Radiant side.
Yep, meanwhile Invoker is just staying in his lane, just chilling. The power of Qualifier Invoker is just team fights and counter ganks, but there's just been so few gank attempts. The ganks are just happening in the mid lane, so Invoker is really just chilling at this point, really unconcerned. Meanwhile, Tyrant picks up a very fast Blink Dagger. Wow, what do you think about this choice? This is just going to be really unexpected, but yeah, hopefully he'll be able to put the hurt on. But will he reveal himself? That might be an issue.
Nah, he's gonna just walk right in. He's like, yeah, I can see the Blink Dagger. What can you do about it? That's the question. And the thing is, the quick Blink Dagger here is gonna be cool, and I think they're gonna use that to fight for a tier 1 tower. I'm not sure whether you need it so quick. Perhaps you could pick up a pipe for a team or something like that, but perhaps you need it right now as there's a 3-man gang, a Black Hole onto just one, the Cloud, the Blink Ravage will hit everybody. The Lumina gets channeled in the band, Atsy's gonna go down, Teleport comes in right now, the Tornado will pick up, ooh, that's the Ricky going down, the Surge going for the Ricky, Ricky's not seen, oh no, that was the Leshrac going down, Caller very, very low, nice blocking from Rise gonna get the kill, meanwhile EMP drains all of the mana, and Invoker will be going down as well, nice vacuum, yes, Rise gets himself another kill, he's looking for more. He's so tanked with the Vanguard. He has Surge coming off cooldown very soon. Pops off the shell. He's going to go for Mini. The Blink goes the other way. That team fight should have been a lopsided victory for Skana, but Rise, he's doing so much with just a Vanguard, and he won a team fight for his team, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that Blink Ravage is perfect. Black Hole was used, but he just blinked in, caught 3 people in that Ravage. Smokescreen followed up, but unfortunately, at this point, Skona is not tanky at all, so they weren't able to handle the immense amount of damage coming in from Ion Shell. And like you said, maybe an early pipe might have helped them out. But that Ravage was useful, and they're going to go for Atsi with that Blink and Gush combo, and the Gale's coming in, so it looks like the Blink Dagger is going to pay for itself soon enough. Here comes Enigma, but Tyler still managed to get the last hit. Here comes Link as well. Mini is going to be in a lot of trouble. He is going to take the fall. Enigma picks up the last hit. Meanwhile, looks like Technoboy just picks up the DD rune. Can't do too much with that. But yeah, Rise, what are they going to do about him? Because he's only going to get more and more annoying.
Yep, and of course he's going to help his teammates who are a little bit slow in terms of farm, like our Slaughter, perhaps you could argue like our Crystal Maiden, to really escape ganks when they're being jumped upon. I really love the rotation of MYM. Crystal Maiden got ganked right about here, and Slaughter on the bot lane, he's like, oh, I'll stop farming for a bit, I'll just jump in here and make sure that our Crystal Maiden would not die in vain. And he got a TIE Hunter for a Crystal Maiden, which I gotta say, a worthy trade in any day in my book. So right now, Calculus back in the mid lane. Earlier, he talked about that he didn't need to leave the lane that much, and that is kind of a big boon for Invoker. He never wants to leave the lane. He just want to make sure that he can get as much EXP as possible. Want to hit level 13, 14, that's where he truly excels. And because of the recent price nerf to the Force Staff, he still hasn't got it right now, and he will get it after shortly after this Creep Wave, and that's going to add a lot more to his own as well as teammates' survivability.
Yep, Mini's ultimate is up in 10 seconds, so they're gonna have to be careful, especially with Rise out of position. Looks like Mini picks up a tower for free, and is that gonna be it? Gale being used just on the Crystal Main. Will they go into pursue, or Mini has the Blink Dagger if they want to go for it? As Atsi is gonna get slowed down. Oh, they're gonna use Ravage on Crystal Maiden. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. CM kill is always a kill right there. It looks like there's a pull in for the Ricky on the million. There's 4 here, but there's no Rap, so I don't think that tier 2 is well, there's gonna be a Gush blinking, Anchor Smash, and there's a blinking, and there, whoa, everything. Man, these guys are like ninjas coming out of trees. There's a TP out from Nino, and he is gonna make it. Oh, but he won't, because the Techno Boy hits a great splitter. Wow, that was kills coming out of nowhere. Earlier, when you were saying totally worth it, I was thinking in my head, no, it wasn't, but you know, you don't need a Ravage there when you're hitting splitters like those.
Anytime you can kill Crystal Main, it's totally worth it.
Okay, fair enough.
As, yeah, just the mass amount of mobility. I mean, you can't clump up against this team, but you can't really stay far out because they can just blink in and kill a bunch of people. So it's a little bit of an awkward situation. And Rise has picked up the hood rather than going for straight mechanism. So he's finished the pipe. So that's going to do a lot in terms of helping out his effective HP. But he'll have to be next to his team in order for that pipe to be truly effective. And right now he's just going to farm. But this early pipe might make a huge difference.
Yeah, Nino's trying to finish that mech. He's about 700 away. And once you have to both mech and pipe up, then you give yourself a lot more defensive capability. At this point, I think it's about weathering that the storm that is coming from Ricky, because he is starting to pick up a lot more damage. Backstab is already maxed. That Cloud is going to be having more and more points. And, you know, once that Diffusal Blade is done, you're going to have a very, very tough time. You have to clump quite a bit, and that's where items such as mech and the pipe will be truly effective against the TIE Hunter. And we're seeing Mech and Pipe on the other team. You can see that Keeper of Light is working towards it. He's a little bit behind, but the TIE Hunter is totally working on that hood. He will have the hood finished right now and working towards that pipe.
Wow, Link picks up a very early Vlad's. Vlad's going to increase his team's damage output. Not really used for the lifesteal because he won't get too many attacks in. He's just going to run in with the Crutch, but I guess for a little bit of anti-push and also for a little bit of armor for his teammates will be useful against Ricky. But yeah, what do you think about such an early Vlad's on a hero like Slaughter who should really start tanking up?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I like this item choice. I mean, if you want to tank out, Vanguard is still a very, very good item. Maybe you just want to push a little bit, but where are they pushing? I don't think they have any opening to push, but they're gonna try right now on the bot tower. I feel like MYM at this point in the game, they have to play reactionary. They can't use Vlad's and say, well, we have Vlad's, let's go push. I think it should be Vanguard, should be very defensive item. And then, you know, when you see your teammates getting ganked, you go counter ganking. But we'll see what they do with this Vlad's. I'm prepared to be amazed.
Invoker teleports to the top lane, and that might be the cue for a smoke gank by the Scourge. This could be a lot of trouble. They have Blink Ravage, but there are 4 heroes and a Pipe of Insight on Rise, so this might be a counter gank for the side of MYM. Mini is going to pop the Ravage. Here comes the wall as well. Can they kill Enigma? They're going to burst him down. Looks like he's going to try to cast Black Hole. Nice Black Hole. Well, actually, Black Hole just dies in an instant. They manage to trade a Crystal Main for a Ricky. Totally worth it for MYM in this situation. Darkseid picks up another kill. He's going to go on Leshak. Leshak's going to die as well. A couple more ticks of the Ion Shell. Yes! One last right click from the Darkseid manages to finish off the job. Meanwhile, here comes Venom. Venom's going to get trapped between a Darkseid and Invoker. Never a position you want to be in. Triple kill being picked up by Rise. He is just on a spree. Mini! Oh no! The Tornado canceling his teleport. And everything went wrong in that engagement. They saw Invoker teleport to the top lane. They were like, okay, time to go in ninja style. Unfortunately for them, Pipe and the fact that they were clumped up for the wall really stuck it to the side of Skone.
Yeah, I mean, again, MYM has a hero to play reactionary. You can see that once the team fight broke open, Calculus immediately came. Darkseid running his way down. Also, well, Darkseid was in the middle of the team fight already, but also the very good split on the side of Meet Your Maker. So that Ravage only hit 2, and the wall and the vacuum truly did the job. Kyoshin was the first person to go down, and that's never a good choice. Perhaps he's going for a Roshan. Oh, Aegis is going in right now, and Aegis is going to get picked up by Calculus, and now suddenly, everybody out of position. Caller is going to be the first one to go down. The Cloud is slowing everybody down. He's going to go for Calculus. Calculus will have the Aegis. Is there going to be any type of detection? Yes, they do have the amp damage on him. And Bonja just says, no.
That old man just got completely destroyed as that was really unfortunate. Technoboy going to Pulse Nova some crease, but here comes the Blinken by Tidehunter as he stole with Anchor Smash. Cool stuff, Mini.
Surge coming in for Meanie. Meanie is picked up in the air. M damage is going to be on him right now, and he can't do anything. Link is going to be tanking the Pulse Nova as well as the damage. Technoboy runs in right now. He wants a 1v3 versus Alamana. Doesn't have anything. I gotta say, Skana is in a very bad meltdown stage. They're not getting before that team fight in the bot lane, they were ahead in kills. Now they're terribly behind.
Man, that was just... They can't really do anything about Ion Shell Dark, so you can just run into the middle of everything, tank up a bunch of damage. You even has a gem to boot to spy out the Ricky, so they don't need the amp damage. They can just have Rise run in. Rise just doing too much work at this point. I mean, he can tank all this damage. He has the Gale, he has the Urn on him, he's taking right clicks. Here comes a Blinken by the Ricky, gonna try to go for Enigma. Force Staff, nice job by Invoker. Here comes the Ravage by Mini, as they manage to pick off the Enigma. Can they kill Calculus? Yes, they will before he can invoke Ghostwalk. Unfortunate for Calculus, as they did not have detection. No, they did have detection anyway. But Rise is just proving to be too big of a problem for Skona at this point.
Yeah, Rise, I mean, you can see that he was just in the middle. He was between tier 2 and tier 3 towers by himself, and he survives. His teammate is not as tanky, will be going down to the Blink Ravage. Of course, after that successful team fight for Kyoshin, he will have his Purge Blade soon after. And with one or two of his teammates, he can actually be setting up some ganks. Mini, perhaps a little bit out of position. Any follow-up? Crystal Maiden is slowly running there. Mini, are they really going to dive Mini like this? Look at Bryce. He's playing so aggressive because he can. He's so far ahead. Crystal Maiden's running right now. Finally, he thinks better of it. It's going to go back out. Ricky's been missing for a long time. And Ricky, he's got that Purge Blade recipe flying in. The question is, what do you do now if you're Ricky? You have your Purge Blade finish. You are hitting your peak. Do you go for ganks? Do you go farm a little bit more? What do you think?
I think they have to try to win the team fights, because that's where they're going to have to shine. Otherwise, the team fights will just slowly but surely be won by the side of MYM, because they do have a starter who's going to get farmed. He's going to go for BKB. There's nothing on the side of Skana that can beat a BKB starter, or that can go through a BKB starter at this point. So I think he should try to take an early team fight with this Diffusal, and they really need to kill Rise. This Ion Shell is just doing way too much damage to them.
Yeah, now with the Diffusal Blade finish, Rise cannot depend on the Surge too much, because you can Surge and immediately purge the Surge off and then bring him back at a very low speed. A smoke use on the bot lane not going to be successful, and now the smoke use on the Radiant. Technoboy not with them, but you gotta keep in mind that Bonjajaja could instantly TP them in, but immediately being scouted out. How did they know that? Look at the circle being drawn on purple. They're all smoked. You don't see this. But here we go. The enemy team are a little bit... Oh, here we go. Mini finds Link. Do you really want to go on the Link, though? Blink Anchor.
No Ravage. No Ravage. This could be a devastating team fight. Link is just going to teleport. A Deafening Blast going to come in. And what will the follow-up be? Mini taking a bunch of damage. Still no Ravage. Here comes the Black Hole. Immediately silenced. Unfortunate play by the Nino. He's going to pop the Mechanism. He's going to be the first one to fall to the Keeper of the Light. I thought engagement might have gone MYM's way because Ravage was cooldown, but now it is up. And now it looks like Rise might be in trouble. Here comes the Cyclone. They will have the Purge. This could be bad. This could be the start of a comeback for Skana, as can they escape? Here comes the wall, vacuum sucking in 5 heroes. IHL doing huge amounts of damage. Here comes Invoker with the cleanup. Darkster, even though he's dead, picks up 2 kills. And here comes the cleanup duty. Technoboy gonna try to teleport out. He does take the fall, and that was just really, really weird. That was a weird team fight.
Turns out that Rise's illusions still better than the rest of the MYM team, as they picks up a triple by themselves. They do massive damage, and then perhaps they chase a little bit too deep. They forgot about the Slaughter. Slaughter was TP back home early, but he just sprint right back in a team fight, and he would just provide way too much. The wall and the vacuum, nicely placed by the way. It was a tree line and the wall in between, and everybody was stuck in the middle. And that's not where you want to be. The tier 1 tower is going to be destroyed. And Meet Your Maker at this point in game, 3,000 goal lead, but way more EXP. Look at that EXP chart. That's not even funny for a team like a Keeper, a Venomancer. They need to be ahead in terms of EXP all the time just to stay on parity. But right now, they're nowhere close. And I don't think Ricky's a hero that can carry you back in the game when you have a deficit like that.
Well, anything's possible. Keep in mind they didn't use Ravage in that team fight. I think they would have won the team fight if all 5 of them didn't get vacuumed into the wall. Otherwise, I think they might have won that fight. But the fact that that happened, they just had to fix up their positioning. They're still in this game. They are behind. But I think they can still make a comeback. They're just going to have to be careful because Slaughter, he didn't die. He's going to have the BKB in about 250 gold, and once he gets a BKB, he can just charge in and go after whoever he wants, and they can't really do much to stop him unless the physical damage of Ricky can kill him, which Sara, naturally tanky hero, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, the Cloud is going to provide a little bit of assurance as well, providing that mischance and, of course, the key silence, like it was canceling a couple of black holes throughout this game. I feel for the Nino because there's so many stuns, so many lockdowns. The Ravage is always very, very difficult to deal with. Should he going for BKB next, then he could bypass most of it. But here we go, Meet Your Maker, another smoke gang. They will be using Link as a bait, and they will be baited as minis. Walking right there, they don't have enough number. Keep in mind that Venomancer is back in the mid lane. Blink, Anchor Smash, the Purge, the Cloud, everything on Link. But here comes the Tornado, EMP. Link's gonna be fine, at least for now. Raz being used to make sure to get the kill. But where's the Black Hole? Black Hole's still on cooldown right now. Wall being dropped, and everybody on full retreat, meaning runs directly the other way. Really is gonna use his life to make sure that everybody survives. 1-for-1 trade, but Ravage was used, and no more aggression for quite a bit. But here we go. Look, perhaps they want to still go for something and teleport in. Is somebody getting poured back in? No, nobody's going to get poured back in. I really dislike the choice here for Leshrac to go for the Yule Scepter as well. He went for the exact same build last game and loved it simply because they were ahead. At this point when they're behind, I think they need something like a Black King Bar really to make sure that he could sit in the middle, do a lot more damage, but he's going to be going for Bloodstone for now.
Yeah, I mean, Point Booster, already a good item. But interesting build, it's more of a ganking aggressive build and just sort of chasing build against Surge. I mean, you're going to run out of Purge charges eventually. Well, Ricky still has 8, so he hasn't been using it at all. One thing to
Yule Scepter is pretty good against Surge as well, so there's that.
That's true,
but,
that's true.
It just doesn't give him enough tanky power, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of damage is coming in. Slaughter, once he finishes the BKB, which it is finished now, he didn't have that in that last engagement. One thing that is important to note is that Slaughter had the gem, so he did lose it. And one thing that Leshrac did do was just pick up the gem and just run away. But here comes amp damage. Technoboy can't escape. No, he's going to take the fall. Slaughter just too fast, too furious. No, he misses the crush.
He had a free crush when the Maleficent was on him. I'm not sure what Link was seeing. There's going to be, look at the Yule Scepter in the face as well as the drums. He's out running.
Oh, here comes Rise.
Here we go. Oh, the crush will hit. That chase wasted a little bit more time than needed. And, well, at least gave Leshrac a ray of hope and then snatched it away. That's how you kill people. You give him some hope and then be like, no. But back in the mid lane here, Kyoshin gonna get dusted up. There's a tornado picking him up in the air. EMP to shortly after. Calculus completely out of mana at this point, but ooh, smart play. Self-purge the dust. You don't see that kind of play in a lot of pro games too, but really Kyoshin knowing what the item can truly do and showing it to all of us right now.
Yeah, he was like, I still have 8 purge charges. Might as well just use one to save my life, and it was totally worth it in that engagement. Meanwhile, what happened to the gem? Did Leshrac lose it? Or I think it might be at the base.
I don't think Leshrac ever had it.
He had it. He killed it from Slaughter, but
it's on Veno now. It's on Veno.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Veno probably one of the best hero to hold the gem. Not the fact that he is squishy and he won't die with it, but he could de-ward simply because play words are OP and it gives a whole bunch of vision. At this point, though, with that Purge Blade, I think, you know how you say when you use the first BKB charge to TP out, it's not never a good use. When the first Diffusal Blade Purge charge is used to, like, save yourself, that's not a good use either. I think they need to set up more ganks. And to be honest, Meteor Maker, they're really holding hands with each other, and it's going to be difficult for Ricky to find that opening to go in.
Look at Rise finishing AC. Wow. So Vlad's obviously for physical output DPS Darkseer rather than for the slaughter because he
Okay,
has an AC.
Rise is leading the game in terms of net worth. Like, what?
Dude, he has an AC and he has a gem. He's just like Slaughter. You don't even need Vlad's. I'm just gonna do all the right clicking myself because I have a billion attack speed at this point, and there's gonna be engaging in the river. The collar is gonna die so fast. There goes another gem. So now they have two gems. Two gems is
Well,
better
I
than
mean,
one. Bling bling.
they see Kyoshin because there is a gem on Darkseer. Darkseer vacuum backwards here. No purge, no purge. There's a self purge, perhaps self purge. He does use it for the self purge and blinks it out. So he's trying to run. Bonjour just says, "Man, I got a horse, but I'm not fast enough." There's a smoke cloud. BKB's gonna get plap. Oh, nice blink here, but still they see Kyoshin. Kyoshin. They don't see him anymore because he is invis out of the gem range, but he does see him as more gems picked up. Kyoshin's, yo, 2-minute gem, blinking backwards here as Technoboy vacuum backwards, and now Calculus gets cycled up in the air. Any vacuum? No vacuum. Somehow they do survive this, only losing the Ricky, but that is still a big loss.
That is what Slaughter excels at, just chasing from till the ends of the earth. That's why we saw it near the end of the Dota 1 lifespan, or at least the last replays we saw from the Chinese scene in a while. Slaughter was a top pick because he can just chase till the ends of the earth with the BKB. You can't really stop him. And here comes a tornado. It catches Veno and the Tidehunter. Will they go in? Mini has the Ravage. Blink Dagger is cooling down. Link is going to just get used up in the air. Will he escape? Here comes Calculus. Pops the EMP, but it looks like they do not want to engage this. They pop the pipe, so this is going to be the Q, but it looks like MYM. They see the pipe. They're just going to back up. Smart move by them.
Yeah, I mean, MY should back up as well. I mean, look at Rise's mana point right now. He's waiting to wait out. Oh, it takes a regen. Oh, he's gonna run out of Technoboy's range. He will be coming back with full mana. I think the truly reason that they didn't take that fight was Rise didn't have any mana for at least for his wall, so wouldn't be a good fight to take without their best spell. But right now, MYM doesn't need to take any fights. They're in a comfortable position. They're leading by so much in terms of both EXP and a little bit less in terms of gold. Link, I mean, he's as a frontal tanker, he's great right now with the magical immunity as well as armor that he gets from the Vlads. At this point, I think they're looking for a successful team fight as well as the Roshan kill. But it is going to be somewhat difficult to go into a team that has a Blink Dagger Ravage as well as a very, very reliable silence from Ricky. So that's why they're being somewhat tentative, even though they're winning so much right now.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have anything to fear. They can just get more farm than the Evoker, get maybe a Black King bar on the Enigma. Enigmas can pick up the Mithril Hammer, so 1,300 gold away from finishing that BKB. Once you get BKB, Enigma, and Starter without anything to stop it, it's going to be really, really difficult. And Rise can just charge in, do as he please, so they don't really need to push in. Looks like they want to push in right now because, I mean, they can only... I guess they just feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, Ty is running forward here. You can see that Rise is being so aggressive. He knows that he's not going to die to anything, and if he is going to die to anything, he will have his team to kind of on cleanup duty. So all he has to do is make sure he drops his wall, drops his vacuum and pipe. And Technoboy, I think he's doing the smartest thing. He realized that he can't really do too much when he's defending anyways, but this is the best defense he could offer up for his team. Draw a couple of TPs as he's pushing mid.
Oh, but he might have just... Oh, he got recalled by the Keeper of the Light. Nice usage. Yep. But, I mean, that's the only usage I've seen of recall in this game so far. Recall is often underestimated, but the fact that you use it so infrequently is kind of annoying for Keeper of the Light.
I think I've seen him like do a smoke gank, and when they're ganking, they recall the Ricky from the other side of the map, something like that. But yeah, it's not a spell that is gonna have too many game-breaking mechanics. It's a great spell if you use it very, very offensively. If you're ganking all over the map and just make them keep guessing where the hell you are. But for now, I'm sure MYM knows where they are, which is behind that tier 2 tower. Try and hold it. There is a glyph for the tower, but the tower is very, very low in terms of HP. Rise will be kind of cutting in from the right side and trying to bring down the tower. Tower down to 300 HP. The glyph is going to be used. Early glyph, I imagine. Perhaps they just don't want to go for the deny. They just want to make sure that they don't lose that tower. As losing the tower is going to mean that they have no sight and makes a further Roshan attempt going to be very, very difficult.
Yep, looks like MYM just going to rotate to the top lane and say, Screw mid tower, we're just gonna go for top. We have AC, we have Slaughter, we can just kill that so easily. And now looks like there might be engagement. Mini caught out in a bad position. Will they get Invoker? Invoker force staffs him away. The caller dies in an instant as Mini's going to take a bunch of damage. Will he Ravage? As looks like Bonzaja is going to die as well. And here comes the cleanup duty. Rise still at full HP. Pretty full mana as well. Link is low on mana, but they can still go in. They killed 2 heroes. They killed the Venomancer, and they used the Venomancer ultimate without Keep of the Light and Venom to Turtle. They really don't have much AoE defense.
Yeah, I think the early game really set up for MYM victory, or at least a big MYM advantage as they're taking this tier 3 tower on the top lane. Blink Ravage is going to hit on just about everybody. Here comes Techno Boy. How much is going to do? That's the question here. BKB being used. Vacuum. Where's the black hole? That's going to be on everybody, and everybody will be dead as the damage output is all there. Look at Link right-clicking around. He is going to have, wow, my God. And here you go, Rise going in right now. Blink, ooh, Rise perhaps for the first time will be dying this game. No, just kidding. He's going to be so tanked, but there's going to be a purge, there's gonna be a splitter. Rise finally will be going down. No, just kidding. The mech coming out, the assault, the heal, the vacuum backwards. He's finally gonna die. And now the chase goes the other way. They want Enigma. Enigma is gonna be, oh, he's gonna try to TP out. Don't tell me. No, he is gonna go down as well. But that took way too much. But frankly, there was no Rax destruction because everybody was just chasing for hero kills.
Yeah, that was totally worth it. And keep in mind at the beginning of the team fight, no Veno ultimate, no Keeper of the Light, spamming Illuminates. That went very well for Skana as they managed to defend that at the very least, but still the Rax can just be killed in a couple of hits, so they got to be very careful, but still, I mean, they defend the Rax, and that's all you can really ask for at this point.
I think they might have, yeah, Ricky had to use a buyback, so there was some, and as well as Tidehunter, so there's definitely some heavy economic cost, but at the end of the day, the Rax is still alive, and of course is slowly regaining HP, and they got themselves a little bit of breathing room. But the next team fight that comes, the Radiant, or excuse me, the Scourge team, the Dire team, has to take a fight outside the base. They cannot take a fight in the base because, you know, the wall and the illusions will just do enough damage. Any kind of right click will do enough damage to bring down the Rax. So they really need to, again, user kind of gankiness. Is that even a term? User.
It is now. It is now.
It is now. Yeah, they have, you know, they have the global mobility of Keeper. They have the Blink Dagger on Tide. They have to use those kind of advantage and set up some ganks because Meteor Maker right now, they're so mobile. And all these team fights, things like Wex Invoker, Phase, Force Staff, multiple Surges, Sprint, they are just so quick. And, you know, if you're trying to run away from this team, you're not going to have a tough or easy time to run away. And then Skana is going to get picked off one by one.
Yep, that ward spotting every movement in the middle lane, so nice ward being placed by the Radiant, as looks like will they initiate on Mini? How long is Ravage up? Ravage will be cooling down, so he will have for the next team fight. Meanwhile, Technoboy just being like a ghetto Nature's Prophet, gonna try to do the AFK push with all the move speed. He can get away, but I mean, Surge, Sprint, he's gonna have to be careful even with that, so he's gonna teleport out. He's gonna be able to pick up his Aghanims, so he went for Aghanims to give him some more magical damage rather than a Bloodstone. So I guess he thinks it's more worth it. Meanwhile, Roshan attempt, and this is the power of Slaughter. Vacuum gonna go in, and now it's a 19-second cooldown. Will they be able to kill Link? No, Link is gonna kill the Roshan instead.
Yeah, they do get the Aegis right now. Slaughter picks up the Aegis. Is this time to fight? Oh, they're all clumped up, and this is going to be the biggest vacuum of Rise's life. No, he's silenced. Very nicely done, but Bonja does his job. Completely out of position. Even uses the mech before he dies. I think that's going to mean the tier 2 tower will be given up. I do love your analogy to Leshrac as a ghetto Nature's Prophet, because that's exactly what he's trying to do, except he couldn't push quick enough and did not draw any TPs to the bot lane. And here we go. We're going to see a push going to the mid.
Yep, Slaughter just chilling with 5.5k gold in the bank. He's going to take a bunch of damage. He's just like, whatever, I have Aegis, gonna stall and let Top Rax be killed. No, Invoker's just like, screw Top Rax, gonna come in as a huge vacuum breaks out, wall gonna be used, Black Hole being not used because it's on cooldown as he's just gonna chill, but BKB Enigma, looks like Technoboy does take the fall. He does not have buyback, he used it all on Aghanims, and Link is just gonna respawn with full HP, full mana, and now they can't defend it, they're just gonna swing back top. They can't make up their minds. What they do know is that they can kill everybody.
Yeah, Link has finally discovered where the melee Rax is, and he quickly destroyed. Teleportation comes in right now. Ooh, nice Mana League against Calculus draining most of it right now. Mini in the middle of things does not have the Ravage anymore. The vacuum towards the wall, not enough. At this point, I feel like any victory that Mini and squad is gonna get is gonna be a paired victory. They have already lost the top racks, and everybody on the MYM squad will TP out. They'll come back once their ultimate's off cooldown, and they'll try it again and again and again. And slowly, of course, the top creep wave is gonna be pushing in. Eventually, I think Skanes is gonna get grind out.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky's still no BKB. He will have it in about, looks like 600 gold. So May will be able to finish that off. He'll be able to farm it up. Enigma's Black Hole is on cooldown, so I guess he did use that in that last engagement. But it's going to be really difficult, especially with Darkseer getting close to whatever item he decides to go for next, as you check Courier. But meanwhile, Slaughter, he picks up just a full-out heart, and now he's going to be unstoppable to kill. Where is the damage going to come from? I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, there is no damage. That's the that's the answer to your
They have
rhetorical
Aghanim's
question.
Leshrac, but that just does
There's
damage
BK,
over time.
yeah, BKB is just gonna say low to that. And to be honest, even with the Black Ink Bar finish on Ricky, Slardar is more than enough to deal with that on his own. And of course, you know, there's right-click damage coming in from Invoker and whatnot. So I think at this point, Mini and his squad has to pull out something very, very special. I'm talking about multiple picks off, going for, you know, Aegis steals and whatnot. Like, well, Aegis is not back right now, but eventually Aegis will be back. So they got to do something crazy, and that does not involve Techno getting picked off. Hopefully, no, he's gonna TP out. No big deal.
Yeah, Techno just constantly being a ninja, as he's just pushing down creep waves whenever possible. Got like 1 billion gold from Eidolons. But still, there's only so much Leshrac can do by himself in a solo push. It's not Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a little bit more valuable to his team, he has to have BKB. He has to have Type of Vice. Unfortunately, he has 700 gold in the bank. And here comes a push, a tier 2 push. Von Jaja charging up Illuminate, trying to slow this one down. Again, Ryze being such a nuisance, he hasn't added a single item to his inventory since. But the way that he's playing, he's so tank. He's just running into 3 or 4, and he's constantly disrupting their positioning. They can't actually stand in ground and hold their ground. You know, with Venomancer and whatnot, with Illuminate, they just gotta run back and forth.
Link is like just gonna charge in, not giving any sorts of damage, as he's gonna charge in, but take a bunch of damage, gonna regen up with heart. That's gonna be fine. Meanwhile, the Ghetto Nature's Prophet in full action picks off a tower, so that's pretty cool by Techno Boy, as Link's gonna teleport back. Hey, he's doing the push. Nice job by Techno Boy. As we'll see if he manages to make any item progression, but still delaying the push, buying his teammates a little bit more farm, and any bit of farm they can get is good. Ricky's finished the BKB, but still, it's not going to be enough, and Roshan's down for quite a bit of time. It's really going to be difficult to make an opening against this team.
Well, Mini, I mean, he's trying to carry this up. I mean, look at this. Shiva's pipe. So he's a very respectable frontline tank. He's going to have some nice magical AoE damage as well. So he's doing something. And you got to keep in mind that when the Ricky's getting initiated upon, when Tai is doing his thing, Techno Boy with his Acceptor can do a lot of AoE. Sure, you're not going to kill the Slaughter with it, and you're not going to do too much to Enigma because he has PKB, but you know, if you weaken down the Invoker, if you weaken down the Darkseer and kill the CM, then you know, hopefully your team could just clean up. So I won't count the Dire team fully out of it, but the gold chart and the XP chart just clearly show they're very, very disadvantaged.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult to play against this, as Technoboy clearing creep waves as fast as he can. But still, looks like the mid push is coming in. They want to finish off that mid tier 3 tower and the barracks. Aegis is down because they killed it in the last fight on the Slaughter. He picked up a quarterstaff, so who knows what he's going to go for that. Maybe just even a silence against that Leshrac. I mean, he can get whatever he wants with that.
Staff, man.
Four staff as well.
Yeah, but there's 2 Cypher Vice up on the Radiant side, 1 on the Darkseer, 1 on the Invoker. They are just absolutely filthy farm. And Link says, I'll tank the tower. The wall just being used like, yo, come at me. You can't, right? Because they have the wall down. Here we go. There's a Blink Hex. Before anything happens, let's see how good the Chain Hex is. There's a second Hex by immediately.
Oh, black hole!
Everybody, the Nova, everything, but they don't have enough damage because the Tornado actually picked up in the air. And here go the Purge. Looks like Kyoshin trying to 1v3, but the damage output from the Slaughter won't be enough. And I think the stun duration, and here comes the Darkseer, fighting everybody by himself. The tower is still alive. Hopefully MYM won't chase too deeply in. They'll just focus on the racks because they do have enough physical DPS output to bring it down, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. And I do believe Mini Squad is completely out of gas. No more big AoE ultimates, and no way to come back in this game.
Man, they put up a great fight though, defending the racks to the bitter end, but still, like you said, they don't have enough damage, and that's really where the problem came from. Ricky tried to charge in 1v3, but unfortunately he couldn't get anything done. Looks like they pick off the car. Technoboy's going to die as well. MYM just completely stomping Skona at this point. Mini's going to take the fall as well. No, he's going to live for now, but I mean, this is pretty much the end at this point.
Yep, or at least the beginning of the end, as there's not enough any type of carry item on Leshrac to really do anything. Of course, Tidehunter, I mean, he survives, but he does not have any damage to really show for it. And here we go, Meteor Maker says, if you don't want to GG out, we'll just give you the formality GG, as we're about to take the Mega Rex. Mega Creeps. Here we go, the blink in from Mini. BKB gets popped up. There's an amp damage, and Bon Jajaja is on the run as well. There's going to be a free crush, and here we go. Mini dispels it with his Kraken Shell, but really, the amount of stuns, look at how tanky he is, though. He's tanking the whole team, but the Hex goes on. Kyoshin is going to get focused very, very soon. Invoker does go down. Good defense being mustered up. These guys are, man, they're fighting with the hearts out. They're not going to give it up. Nice.
Yeah, they're gonna kill Rise as well, purge the Surge off, as that totally rhymed. I never knew that. But Shiva's and Darkseer, or Shiva's managed to pick off the Darkseer, and will they be able to get the defense off? As, I mean, they have so much. Well, Rise doesn't have buyback. Do they know? I guess they must know, but they can't really do too much about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's just too much. The creep equilibrium is not where it's at, where they could really punish that. I checked the Roshan, it's not back either. So despite the fact that the Radiant team, lost that fight, there's nothing that Dire could gain out of it. They're gonna just push out the creeps a little bit, and that's it. And Technoboy.
Technoboy indeed. Link did not pop sprint. Looks like Technoboy gonna run back in. Not sure why, but now he's gonna die.
Yeah, I don't think he knew Invoker as well as the Crystal Maiden being there. Perhaps he thought he could 1v1 Link. And I'm not sure what I could agree with him there either. Maybe Slaughter is going for Butterfly, because he's got that. Still holding to that quarterstaff.
Yeah, I mean,
got a lot of gold.
Why the heck not? Is gonna go for Orchid, obviously.
Man, at this point in the game, we want to see some shotgun Slaughters,
Yeah, get that strength Evil Aid bonus, because Slaughter's damage is totally all magical.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on. You go for the Slaughter, you go for the shotgun, and then you crush.
Yeah.
Is crush physical?
Crush is physical.
GG. No synergy at all.
That's why I said that with the... Oh, if you could see my face, it was a very straight face.
You shotgun, and then you let CM Nova. Next level meta.
7-second freezing field with a black hole. Dang, team wipe. Too good.
Team wipe. Yeah.
Yo, she's getting at level 16 soon, and then that freezing field.
I think you just go Veil now. There Obviously. You go. You got the entire team AoE. We might be talking like that, but this is do or die for Skana, as this is a single elimination bracket. Of course, Ghetto Nature's Prophet Part 2, Mini on the top lane here, trying to drain some TP scrolls, and he's got a sizable creep wave, but will MYM TP?
No.
Looks like they might have to.
No, why do they? They're gonna smoke up. They're gonna go in through the mid lane as the line is drawn, and here comes Enigma. He has Blink BKB, and it looks like unfortunately the Dire are all clumped up as Vacuum. Here comes the Hex on Koshinoko as the Yules is popped. Koshinoko is going to take a bunch of damage. Here comes the Crush. Ravage is used, but BKB just says lull to Ravage. Black Hole used on Mini. Mini is going to take all the Black Hole damage right to the face. That is not very pleasant at all. He buys back. He has no Ravage. There's only so much you can do. Meanwhile, Link just gonna hit towers.
I don't know, man. Mini's very, very tank now, so he's gonna just run right in or help. He will. Here we go. Tornado picks up Technoboy. Technoboy trying to get a Ghost Scepter. He does have the Ghost Scepter. Mana being drained off of him right now, not off of Link. And Link is gonna be going down the Rex. Still very, very healthy in terms of HP. Mini's going in. He's tanking everything. He just does not care. Calculus drops a Ghost Wall, and that's gonna be it. They were still holding. Somebody, for the love of God, stop these Force Spears as they're doing it, and Calculus is gonna go down. How are they defending this? What are we watching?
I don't... Well, meh. That is my articulate response to your question, but I guess, unfortunately, Slaughter's not doing enough damage by themselves, and without Slaughter and Darkseer, I mean, not too much damage is being pumped out by the Radiant squad either, so it's just sort of like hitting each other a bunch of times without anybody doing any sort of damage. Link has no mana, can't even sprint away. Can they kill Nino? They will kill Nino, as just a valiant effort by the side of Skana, as they are going to go on the offensive. Darkseer still has full mana, is going to get hexed as well, but still, I mean, this Leshrac speeding away. This Leshrac might be the strongest carry in the game at this point, which is
he's
odd.
got the Heal Scepter. He does pick him up. The Splitter, if that's going to hit, and it looks like Rise is going to go, no, Vacuum on the low ground.
No buyback, no buyback.
And Link, he's going for it. He's going to get a 2-hit kill here. Blink up on the top ground here. Oh, no. There's... Who the hell's a Hex? Bonjaja has a Hex! I mean, are we calling the game a little bit...
Freezing Field!
Gets one kill. Link's alive right now, and he's going to turn around right now. Bonjaja says, oh, no, I'm in the wrong neighborhood. My horse, not as fast. There's a nice slow here. And Meanie...
Oh, Koshinoko used dead for so long!
Trying to get the Cloud, and no, Link's gonna be going down. Do they have to purge? There's no purge to backstab jams, not enough. Blink it forward. Meanie's gonna get the kill. Crystal Maiden says, I need a run as well. Blink forward here. She has a freaking Boots of Travel and a Force Stab. Man, every support right now is mad farm. She's trying to force on the low ground. She will get that. 41 to 28 right now, but the creep equilibrium very, very close to the enemy base. Is there anything that Skanen could be doing right now?
Man, they're doing all they can. Unfortunately, Ricky was dead for a lot of the duration. He came back. He really needs to tank up. But if Ricky managed to get enough farm, I mean, the game speaks for itself. It's still going on. They're still in it. They're fighting as hard as they can. And that Rax is barely taking any damage. And unfortunately, for the MYM squad, they are falling in the same trap as Skana themselves. They have no damage at all. And now the Roshan equilibrium is favoring the Dire a little bit. The bottom lane is pushed out heavily. The top lane still being pressured a decent amount, but I mean, once Slaughter gets his opening, that amped edge will get it, but he's still dead for 40 more seconds. And this is just a really, really crazy game as the defense is still going on. Keeper of the Light, just too good at defending creeps. As he has the Hex, he has the Mechanism, he has Strength Treads. He is a beast.
Yeah, I mean, and look at Meanie. He's up to another 3,000 gold. He has already used his buyback, so he's got to force himself to buy an item. What item might that be? But forget the item right now. Roshan's back. And Roshan's going to get taunted by the Dire team. They're down 2 racks. I mean, they're just going to get a scout out by the Invoker. And here you go, the Max Exodus of MYM players. They're going to just storm into that pit. But do you want to do so? Because Ravage is available. Meanie's very, very low in terms of mana. So a single EMP will drain most of it. There is Chakra Magic and should be casted continuously. And no, Barth just cast on himself. And that means no mana for Meanie. I got to say, that's a huge mistake. But they are going to get it. Are they? Ricky's going to pick up the Aegis of Immortal. And here we go. There's also a cheese on the ground. Did anybody pick that one up?
Technoboy got the cheese as Slaughter is not in position just yet. Here comes the blink in. Enigma Black Hole catches 2 heroes. As looks like Technoboy does take the fall. Cannot use cheese. Mini pops the Ravage. Can Technoboy buy back? Invoker dies, but he buys back. He picked off the Keeper of the Light. Looks like Koshinoko is going to take the fall. This is the beginning of the end, but still a valiant effort. 4 heroes are dead. Oh no, poor Skana, as Ricky doesn't have buyback. Leshrac does not have buyback. Neither does Keeper. Mini does, but Mini cannot hold the base by himself, and all it is left is the Caller.
Man, that Black Hole actually won them the game because they got the Ricky, so it took down his first Aegis, and it also forced Leshrac to not use his cheese. He cannot use item within Black Holes, and of course Ricky was hexed immediately afterwards. So that Black Hole, he only got 2 heroes, so we got the most important 2 heroes, and that's that's what Black Hole does for you. Technoboy being driven back, he does have cheese. He's gonna use it right now. But look at that! Look at the damage output from Link. Link has a butterfly. Who said no DPS? He just mowed down 2 heroes by himself. Here we go. That's gonna be it as Mega Creeps. Just 1 racks away. They are just gonna forget about Mega Creep. The Caller trying to run out. There's no chance for him to do so. The blink in from Meanie. And he's not tank enough. Not against this Slaughter. And here we go. The meatball being dropped. Meanie being called back. Meanie's gonna just walk back to the fountain. He is very, very tank.
Yeah, but Link is just gonna evade all the fountain Caller calls. GG. And what a game. I mean, it was never really in doubt for MYM, but they had a couple of scary calls as I mean, if they had a little bit more creepy equilibrium, they might have been able to kill the base, but really, really well played by both teams. Never give up, never surrender, and Skana definitely did not do either of those. So really nicely done, and this has been the THOR Fragbite Open, or the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier number 2, and this was the quarterfinals, and with me was Luminous. Thank you to Luminous. Do you want the last word?
No.
Okay. Very well done by both teams. But MYM does move on, and they will be facing best of three series soon in the semifinals and the finals tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But thank you all for watching, and see you soon.